Well, welcome to a brand new year. Let's see what happens. Now, let me show you the questions that have come through, and then we'll go around the room and see if there's anything else we need to add at the moment. So these are the questions for today. And then a really fascinating question about alpha channels, alpha masks, which we take for granted in Affinity or in Photoshop. But 3D LUT Creator also supports them. And how do you work with them? And especially moving from Photoshop, for example, to and from 3D LUT Creator. So we have this question about alpha masks in 3D LUT Creator and Photoshop, and in particular the interoperability of alpha channels between 3D LUT Creator and Photoshop, and how to adjust images using these alpha channels, alpha masks. And it's also something that I didn't really go into to any great extent in the 3D LUT Creator Masterclass. So this is a perfect addendum to support what we already cover in the workshop. So let's start in Photoshop and then move to 3D LUT Creator and then back to Photoshop. Now here's a simple image that we use in a lot of our demonstrations. It's an image that I've already downsized because remember 3D LUT Creator, we're only editing the tonal and color compositions. We're not editing the drawing composition. There's no spatial domain editing. So the number of pixels don't matter. We just need enough pixels to carry the tonal and color information we're wanting to edit into 3D LUT Creator. So I've already temporarily downsized this image, which is a medium format Hasselblad image, so it's quite large, to something that works perfectly for the production of a LUT to then apply to the full-size version. All right, first things first. If we look at our channels, we've just got the basic constituents, the red, the green, and the blue channels. If, for example, I do something like load the blue channel as a selection using keyboard shortcuts, go back into our layers, and then maybe add a HSL adjustment layer, that's automatically, by definition, loaded the active selection, which was the blue channel, as a layer mask. Back into my channels, you can see that hue saturation mask is saved as a alpha channel. It's turned off at the moment, of course. Turning it on, the quick mask overlay at the areas that are variously excluded or included. But with that layer selected, if I go to 3D LUT Creator and ingest that, and you'll see with Command 6, there's the alpha channel. Everything's visible because I imported the image, not the image with the alpha channel. So let's reset everything. And now let's hold down the Shift key while also importing that image. Looks exactly the same, but Command 6 or Control 6 on a PC, and there's the blue channel. So we now have that alpha channel active inside 3D LUT Creator. Okay. Back to Command 2 to look at the image again. Let's make this a little more aggressive. Back in Photoshop, option clicking, but let's bring up levels, for example, and make this a very aggressive selection. And in fact, let's drag that across and fill with black, and in a big soft brush, let's create quite a definitive mask. So there's a combination of the blue channel. Maybe I'll put a few straight lines through there, something like that, which is pretty obvious as you can see. Now let's go back to 3D LUT Creator, and with the Shift key held down again, let's import that image, and Command 6, there is the updated channel. Notice what has happened to the distribution of pixels in my grid. Now here's all the water pixels, and Command 2 to go back to the full image. If I adjust something like this or like this, it has no effect, no visible effect on the image because it's not included in the alpha channel. So any adjustments such as remapping those colors, I'll make it really obvious, for example. Then sending that LUT back to Photoshop before and after, and the only effect is on the areas through that alpha channel, even though there's no layer mask at the moment. All right, let's delete that layer. So that's one way of going from one to the other. Back into 3D LUT Creator. Let's bring that image back without any alpha channels, and let's reset everything. You can see now the full gamut, the full distribution of all of those values. Now let's use 3D LUT Creator, as so many people do, we certainly do, use its prodigious mask tool to create a brilliant tonal or color composition mask, not just to constrain the effects of these other tools within the masked area, but to use in a program like Affinity, or in this case, Photoshop. Remember, 2 buttons in particular. The preview button, everything's visible at the moment. Look, it's all white because we haven't selected anything. Under the criteria, the luminance distribution, there's the distribution of luminance within the image, and you can see the curve from the darkest shadows to the brightest highlights is all at 100%. So if I adjust that criteria, then all of these pixels are excluded, turned black, invisible in the mask, and these are increasingly visible, and then I can do all manner of things according to my needs. Let's reset that and turn preview off and look at another one of these multitude criteria. Now, if I'm just wanting to select the water in the pool, perhaps a CMYK cyan selection, but let's push this even further. Why don't we come down, for example, to our hue, saturation, and perceptual lightness tool. The hue, there's the distribution of hues, there's the distribution of saturation, and there's the distribution of perceptual lightness in this case. And we have an interactive eyedropper. So meandering across the water, you can see the range of hues, the range of saturation, and the range of brightness that has already been selected. Turning on the preview button, let's increase or add to the mix. There we go. Now, with the preview turned on, and the only thing we've done is create a mask isolating those elements in the pool. If we send that look back to Photoshop, what do you think gets sent back to Photoshop? That mask that we created. And if we merge visible, I'll get rid of that. We have a pixel image. It's on a layer. It's a pixel image in Photoshop that we can use, for example. Why don't we load that channel into memory and then turn that off? The marching ants indicating that has been loaded into memory as an alpha channel. Then add my hue saturation tool to automatically load it as a layer mask. So now any adjustments, global or local, only affecting those particular areas, and so on and so forth. And then I make some adjustments. Let's get rid of that LUT. Now I have an image which has an alpha channel. And guess what happens if I go back into 3D LUT Creator and turn off the preview and reset a new LUT? And go back to our default grid, and with the Shift key, yes, Shift equals all channels, including the alpha channel. I shift click and load this version. And not only do I have the color edits of the hue, saturation, and lightness adjustment layer in Photoshop, but Command 6, I also have that alpha channel. So I can then choose to further adjust some of those values according to my sensibility. Whether it's sensible or not, I'll leave it up to you, of course. That's a little silly. But the point is, if I send that back to Photoshop, what do you think is going to end up back in Photoshop? A LUT just for those adjustments. Just trying to demonstrate this interoperability that, of course, 3D LUT Creator is more than happy to work with, both producing but receiving alpha channels, alpha masks from, in this case, Photoshop, almost automated with the Shift key. Therefore, we can build complex adjustments as easily inside both applications using, in particular, in our case, the prodigious mask tool in 3D LUT Creator, which enables us to mask on a multitude of criteria. And of course, there's nothing stopping us making multiple masks on the same image and sending them back to Photoshop as individual LUTs. We just have to name each LUT as it arrives as an adjustment layer in Photoshop with a unique name. Otherwise, sending another LUT back overwrites it. Just basic 101 3D LUT Creator protocols. But it's extraordinary what we can achieve as a result. And hopefully that's a little bit of revision, but also an extension of what we cover in the workshop in terms of working with alpha channels, or in this case, masks. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because, of course, in Photoshop, when we add a layer mask, we call it a layer mask. But if we look at that in channels, it's actually an alpha channel. So we're always working with alpha, even though it's not just transparency, but pixels representing transparency on the layer mask. Whereas Affinity, we're working with alpha from the get-go. So some subtle differences there, but 3D LUT Creator doesn't care. If we've imported the image with the alpha channel, we can access it. One last comment, of course, there is an alpha mask tool in 3D LUT Creator, but it's just a rectangular marquee. So there's no interactivity. To get that interactivity, we need to go into the mask tool to then make those individual isolation masks, which we send back to Photoshop, and that can then be sent back from Photoshop to 3D LUT Creator. And therefore, we have a customized alpha channel in 3D LUT Creator created by a mask, but then it goes back to become an alpha channel, which is interesting because you see, once that mask is represented as an alpha channel in 3D LUT Creator by doing that round trip to Photoshop and back to 3D LUT Creator, you then reset the LUT. The alpha channel doesn't change. You reset the LUT, you turn off the mask. You can then create another mask that works within the alpha channel, the original mask, and so on. It's pretty interesting facilitation. And once you get used to this interoperability, and if you're new to the concept of alpha anyway, once you get your head around it, you can dream up the most amazing solutions that take seconds to implement rather than getting lost in the weeds in other programs. Anyway, that's our contribution to this brief look at masks and alpha channels and the interoperability between dear old Photoshop and the mighty mightness of 3D LUT Creator. Hopefully that's of some help.